But like, can you foil it instead of doing the other way?
From the review?
Yeah.
Is what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, will you read me what it is?
4 minus 3i to the 7th.
4 minus 3i to the 7th?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, heck no, I'm not going to FOIL that out, but...
Anyway, then can you like...
So here's what it would be. I mean, it would be like 7 choose 0, 4 to the 7th, negative 3i to the 0, plus 7 choose 1, 4 to the 3rd, or sorry, 6th, minus 3i to the 1st, plus 7 choose 2. And it keeps on going, like there's going to be 8 terms. So like, you can do it that way, but like, good Lord, like I wouldn't want to. Or you could like literally FOIL it out, but you're going to be doing like 8 multiplications, which also sucks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the easier way to do it, that's not so yucky, is I'm going to convert this into trigonometric form. So I know that r squared is a squared plus b squared. So r is just going to be 5. 16 plus 9 is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. And then to figure out the theta, if I plot this, 4, negative 3 is down here. So that's my theta. To find theta, I'm going to use the alpha. So here alpha is 360, or theta is 360 minus alpha, right? And alpha is always tan inverse of the absolute value of, in this case, b over a. So if I go to my calculator and I type that in, I think that's 53 and change, but let's double check that. Tan inverse of 3 over 4 is, oh, it was the other one. It was the complement. 36.87 degrees. So if I do 360 minus that, my theta is 323.13. So those were the two things that I needed, was my r and my theta, to get my trigonometric form. So in this case, my z is 5 times cosine of 323.13 plus I sine 323.13. So z to the 7th is just going to be 5 to the 7th cosine of 7 times 323.13 plus I sine 7 times 323.13. And then, Sophia, on this question, are they asking for an answer in standard form or trigonometric form? Okay. So 5 to the 7th is that number. And 7 times 323 is 2261.91 and some change, but I'm just going to round it to 2 decimal places. And I realized that, like, there's certainly an angle coterminal to that between 0 and 360 because it's asking for standard form. I don't really care what that angle is. So I'm just going to go into my calculator now to get my standard form answer. So I'm going to do 78,125 times cosine of 2261.91. And that's going to give me my real term. So that's negative 16,124. And I guess it rounded 0.00. And then I'll do the same thing for 78,125 times sine of 2261.91, which gives me 6,442, well, really, I guess 43.00 I. And that's my standard form answer there, rounded to 2 decimal places, which is, I think we'd still be burning through the FOIL. And that was me knowing the binomial theorem to do it. If you actually tried to FOIL it by hand, I think you'd probably just be at your second or third multiplication of that, and it's rather time consuming. The formula is quite easy though. If it's in trigonometric form, it just r to the 7th and then 7 times theta, which is like, heck yeah, that's a heck of a lot faster than doing it the other way, even if I have to convert it to trigonometric form first. And just FYI, if you did that in your calculator, it'll output the answer for you also. Like you can do whatever, 4 minus 3i to the 7th just on your calculator, and it should give you this exact same answer that we got there. Let's just check real quick. Since like the calculator's got all these little shortcuts programmed into it, it's not actually doing these things by hand like the way that you'd kind of learn initially. They're using a bunch of like really sneaky and clever shortcuts so that it doesn't have to do so much computationally. And where is the I at here on this thing? It's second and then the decimal point. And there's our answer, which is exactly what we wrote down, negative 16,124 plus 76,443 I. So that's a good check, you know, so, which is nice to have, right? Now on the test, I'll expect to see like the work to justify that, or at least, you know, like applying de Moivre's theorem or whatever before you spit out your answer. But like, good Lord, check your answer with your calculator before you decide that like I'm finished with that one. You know what I mean, my peeps? And again, if you can't see, feel free to stand up and turn off the light. I can't ever tell how easy it is to see, like especially the calculator display when I pull that thing up. I think is probably hard to see in the light, but if you're good, I'm good, and we're all good, right? Does that feel okay, Soph? You're happy? Okay. I'm sorry I didn't really FOIL that thing out because it just, like, you would not want to. It's so time consuming. Not that it's difficult, but it's just like really tedious. Just a lot of foiling. Anyone else that wants to, or any other problems we want to talk about here? Again, I'm happy to run through a bunch of this stuff if you guys want to, or if you're just like, you know what, I just need to work for a while and I'll come ask you questions if I get to something I don't feel good about, and that's fine too. Whatever works for you guys, I'm happy to do. Okay, well that feels like where we landed, so I'm going to stop the video. If you guys run into something though and you want to talk about it,